Welcome back everyone to Yosemite, and in today's video we are going to create this wonderful paradise for our gorillas. If you want to know how we got there, well then stick with me and watch how we built this in the time lapse and have a little bit of a fun episode when we're going to have a bit of a real-time talk at the end of the video. So let's do that. Alright, welcome back to Yosemite Valley. Well, you know, today's video is going to be really cool because we are taking the next step in our African area. For those of you, quick reminder, we did actually delete the entire African house. So for those of you who are fans of Yosemite and have maybe not caught up on the last stuff quite yet, yes, I made this step. I deleted the Yosemite ape house that was for a very long time a subject of hot discussions, let's put it that way. Haribo initially did build this for me and he did a stellar job on this build, but after all this time it was really you know, becoming more and more obvious that the style maybe did not really fit Yosemite. And to be fair, and also to his defense, the point when he gave it to me, the style of Yosemite was not 100% obvious at this point because half of the zoo was still missing. So it's maybe more my fault that I went with this very specific style. And the only more or less modern house we have is the rainforest dome, or are the rainforest domes, since this is more than just one dome. It becomes obvious that this is still a very different style. So as much as I love the build, it just didn't fit in here. Now, yeah, we did it and deleted it. In the last episode, we made the giraffe area, which you guys seem to love quite a lot. And I'm a very big supporter of that because, oh my God, have I been happy that you guys received it that well, because it was quite a stretch to come up with this habitat. Now, enough of last week's, you know, stories. Let's continue with today's house. Now, or build, I should say. It's not a house. What we are going to build here in the moment is a pretty straightforward carbon copy of a design that is actually a watchtower or a fire watchtower in Yosemite National Park. Now, if I'm not completely wrong, it is the fire outlook, a very common one in Yosemite. I actually searched for it quite a bit, and I thought I needed to go with one from Yellowstone National Park, but at the end I found one for Yosemite as well. And my idea was that we have, if it is exactly this or not, but to be fair, technically, if we would talk about the fire or lookout or whatever, it would be quite a lot higher located than what you will see in today's video. In fact, it's not even that much higher located in the fact that it's in the valley, you know. So, well, it makes not really that much sense in terms of a working fire lookout. But the idea is that this has been a fire outlook, or maybe even like a wildlife outlook, whatever, in the midst of this area, and now has been turned into the main piece of interest for the gorilla habitat. And I am very happy with how it turned out. Now, this time I wanted to make sure that this is actually accessible for the gorillas. You know that quite often, more often than not, my builds are focused on the aesthetics of things, and I'm just at some point like, you know what, if that doesn't work, it doesn't work. Let's just make it beautiful. And this time around, I tried to kind of combine this, make it look good, but at the same time make it accessible for the staff and the gorillas as well. So you can see on screen that I'm using the staff path to get an idea how exactly the dimensions have to be for the staircase. If you guys want to build a custom staircase, I would always recommend to use the 3-meter staff path as a recommendation or as a guidance, because that is the at least that's what I figured is working most times for the animals, and always for the staff. Technically, if you only want to do it for the staff, you can use the 2-meter one as well, because the 2-meter one, it's, by the way, it's a queue, not the staff path. I'm talking weird stuff here. It's the queue, if you want to look for it, queue. 3-meter wide queue. But again, if you only want to do it for the staff, to make your staff reach certain points, you can use the 2-meter one. That will always help you out as well. And sometimes it's actually pretty cool because the animal can't access this then, but your staff people can. So if you want to do certain things for certain animals, such as penguins, work for it, like the normal one, not the African one, and also the other bigger animals work with it as well, especially for example, the gorilla as well. But keep in mind that mostly the babies will be small enough to fit through, so don't make them escape via this route. But sometimes for the adult animals, you at least can keep them away from certain routes. That's working pretty well, actually. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to what you guys can come up with as designs. But I figured just that worked pretty well indeed. Now that said, as I built this, I was really happy to find out in the end that it indeed worked out pretty well, and it actually works with the gorillas in game. And you know what also works pretty well? It is the comment of the episode. And in today's episode, this one is coming from Empress Lisanne, and yeah, she's going to say, you want to keep it semi-realistic, if I remember, but then you also move an entire building like, wee! To give you some context, that is a comment under my recent franchise video in which we changed the complete entrance of the Lost Aqualand. Now, I have to add, Lisanne, that I said we have quite a high budget, okay? So I made my life a little bit more easy. And in fact, this building wasn't like super big, so I think it could be done, but you're obviously right. This is the Rudi impression of realism, or the Rudi understanding of it, which is always a little bit taller because me as a camel, obviously I'm bigger, you know, and yeah, well, sorry, I needed to say that. In other news, I have unfortunately a very bad thing to tell you. I seem to have forgotten to record quite a large chunk of this build, in fact more than 50%, and I have no idea why. When I put these things into the video, like the different clips, obviously I'm not building this in one go. I in fact built this one in 4 or 5 consecutive days. So I have different files, and for whatever reason, it just seems that one of those evenings I did not record. It seems also like there was no mistake with the file. It seems just I completely forgot, because the versioning of the different videos is correct, but this day is just missing. So yeah, apparently I can't show you how the entire habitat in the middle has been done, but you will see this obviously in the real-time part, and I'm quite happy to share this with you in the real-time part. Not sure how this happened. You know, at the end of the day, I blame this to my own stupidity. This is a very safe call, and then we will be all happy with that. Now, if you guys made it to this point in the video with 7 minutes and 45, I'm very thankful, because you guys boost my retention rate quite a bit, and I would love to see you guys through this video with me till the end of the video. I will have another question for you at the end of the video, but to keep it fairly simple, this is going to be the other question. So we're only going to have like 2 questions, and it's a pretty simple one. What is your favorite animal from Planet Zoo, including all the different DLCs? There is a reason why I asked this question, which is something I'm going to talk about in the next franchise video. But yeah, if you guys are interested, highly recommend to check this out as well. It's going to be on Friday. But today I really would love to know from you guys, what is your favorite Planet Zoo animal, including all the DLCs? And if you may want to say that as well, why would interest me as well. I need to have some input, you know, that would be lovely. So thank you so much for that. Let's talk a bit more about this build. Now, I talked about this fire watch or fire lookout tower quite a bit. I don't know if you guys have played that. There was a wonderful little game. Was it called Firefighter or Firewatch or something? Which was actually playing in Yellowstone. I loved this game quite a bit. Really cool game. And this was a bit what gave me the idea for this build, and I thought, you know, it would be a cool one. Really lovely game. It was cool to play, a bit short, but other than that, I really enjoyed it quite a bit. Now, yeah, doing the last little cleanups here and tunings in this area. So, yeah, the time lapse is a lot shorter than I expected it to be. So, well, in other news, the video is not going to be massively long as I was thinking it was going to be after I recorded the real-time part, because I clearly did not record the real-time part before I did the voiceover. Never do this. I'm joking, by the way. I quite often do this because Yosemite takes tremendous hours to load, and so I'm mostly recording the real-time part when I'm finished building, simply to save the time to just boot up the game, just one more time, or keeping it running in the background is also massively bad. Anyways, let's jump over and have some fun. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the real-time battle. Look at that. We just are in a very lucky position to see that a big gorilla using the climbing frame. That's quite a nice shot. Could you please not go through my face? That would be wonderful. Look at that with the baby here. Yeah, so I've given you guys a tremendous amount of information in the voiceover, but now it's time to stand here and enjoy this wonderful new view. And I am insanely happy with how it turned out. Now, you have to imagine that there was a lot I needed to consider for that area, and given the fact that I wanted to stay within the boundaries of this space that we had kind of created last time, it was even more of a task to do. We still have some little areas that do give me some headache, just as like this corner over here, which realistically obviously would be the easiest way for them to escape. The same goes for some areas like here with the trees. Like from a game's perspective, they can't. I certainly don't want to do some big nettings and stuff over here, so I will eventually go in and change a couple of things. But for the moment being, I'm quite happy. And I mostly built this area with the half dome in mind as a sideline. You can see everything is built in a way that you have this wonderful view of half dome and everything is in front of it. I mean, this is the scenic highlight we have over here, so we should definitely play with it. I struggled also, as I told you in the time lapse, I struggled quite a bit with what I wanted to do over here, and I came up with these walls that kind of resemble half dome in a way, if you will. See, this is that one over here, and they just kind of got the same form factor. It's not like inch perfect obviously, but I think it's working pretty well. We've got one fellow gorilla over here, the other one going there. I think it works also pretty fine here with these viewing windows. I think that's pretty cool. Having a massive wall in between also seems to be the good solution for making it rather secure. And something I have started over here is giving you, I hope, at least a better idea of where we are going. I want to make this a lot more lush and a lot more dense, even though it isn't at the moment, because I still want to give you some good shots for, you know, the thumbnails and stuff. I will put a lot more trees in here to make it a lot more foresty and realistic. I'm just going to run here quickly. So you can see there's this glass wall, but I just want to go around that corner into one of my new favorite areas, and that is this part over here, because you can see there's a lot going on, including people making weird things here. We've got this wonderful new ground cover of the new walls, and I think they work perfectly fine as floor pattern. They almost go hand in hand with this, and I think it's a kind of new wonderful little area. Also introducing a wonderful view here to this side, and as you can see, there is still the Africa house, and I would need to have that sign new. I know the person who made that sign already asked for it if I need it new, and I think I need it new, and this has to be like the new Africa area, because there's not a house existing anymore. But the placement is yeah, better than ever, because I kept it to where the gorillas were. I mean, to be fair, they had a pretty massive area anyway, so there was a good chance that I will hit this spot, but you know, you get the idea. Also, thank you again for all these wonderful comments in the last episode. A lot of them obviously hit the target. They did tell me exactly what I wanted to hear, and this is that every good zoo is a constant progress of doing and changing things. That said, I don't want to have this here as an always on project. So at some point I will end this. There are some ideas growing for new, bigger projects at this point. Hirschegg, for example, is about to be finished in a bit, so I'm working on 1 or 2 more episodes, and then that is more or less done, because, you know, that was just solely for the European pack, and we are almost halfway through to the next pack now. So yeah, there's no real point to stretch that out massively. But you can see going up this hill, you get even better views now from over here. Standing over here, you can see this looks like as if this one is going to pee. I mean, I know that's a woman, but still, that looks like a male peeing down here. Anyhow, that's just my brain doing this to me. I'm very sorry. Now, I really do like this viewing opportunity over here. And going around the corner, you can see there's still not everything is finished. We still need like a fencing over here, but there's a reason why this isn't finished yet. I still need this area to do something else, but I'm not talking about this in today's episode, because that's First of all, subject to change, because always might be, if I actually create stuff, things are changing, and I don't want to spoil this. Now, you can see this is the tower from the backside. There's this little enlargement here to really create the gate, and then if we go in, because I just want to show you as well, there's a couple of little things I built in here to make it really build, but that is just like the summer house, if you will, for the summer times and stuff, but we can also go up, and I like this a lot. Oh, look at that. I took the toy from above and brought that down. You can see it's actually funny. Let me just quickly pause the game. I want to show this to you because that is ridiculous. Like, we are speaking so much about some issues with like climbing and stuff, but then all of a sudden you have animations that are that perfect. Like, I mean, look at that. I mean, obviously it's not like perfect, and there's like a autosave going on in the background, so that is a bit of a lag, but you can see it is scarily perfect in terms of what the game could achieve. And if you compare that to all the glitches and stuff, that to me is massively impressive, like how much this works. Like, everything is correct about the movement, even like the weight transfer to how they're going down and stuff. Like, we've you know, there are moments like that where you have to praise this, and then they just go over here and start moonwalking on these logs. It's a bit of a shame because there is so much potential in here. But let me just go up this little staircase to show you. Right, this one over here is a little sleeping area for them, and there are a couple of reasons why I built this, and the main reason is to give them the much needed privacy without taking away the nature from them, and eventually giving people a bit of a glimpse if they want to look in here from a greater distance without annoying them. But I like the idea a lot that they have something like this here up on this tower, so you know, they have some privacy. It's not as loud up here, and also when it's going to rain and stuff, they can still hide here if they want. So I'm quite a big fan of that, and standing up here gives you also a very nice view of this finished habitat. Now let me jump out of Tedget Cam and show you the view from above. I think we've talked about this massively. Actually, the habitat seems a lot bigger from the viewing than it is actually in this spot, and I think this is exactly what I wanted to achieve, you know, making this appear bigger with different height levels and stuff, making the perspective work for us, and also the little river in between, and then we have this implied gate over here, which is their winter area, and this is why I made this raised area. I thought this could be a very cool idea to have like an underground facility where they can actually have them in the winter times. There could be some, you know, some cool lighting going on in there to give them some daylight and stuff, and heating and stuff, you know, because I do wanted to hide this away, and I thought this could be the idea of how they could do this and pull it off in Yosemite. Now that said, whoops, let me just show you around what is going to happen next. Now we have an immense issue over here, as you can see. It's pretty crowded with the penguins. The good thing is, and this is first time ever I noticed this change resulting in a good amount of how to say, improvement of the game, and this is because of all these penguins can now finally dive in this area and also in this area, simply because Frontier did the change to make them only have 2 meters of deep swim requirement other than 4 meters. The 4 meter requirement was the initial reason why I built this deep dive area in the back. Now, as they don't need this anymore, we can do something else with them. However, from a zoo standpoint, this area is a little bit too tiny for what I wanted to do with the penguins, and so we are giving them another area to be in, and I have a certain idea how to pull that off, and this will be including this area here mainly. So we are going to have like a little penguin bridge crossing the road, which I think is going to look fantastic, and then we are going to have another diving area on the other side, somewhat connected to this backstage building, and I'm thinking that the diving area could be somewhat in this little corner over here, to give them a bit more space, and the upper area will be on top of this building to really pull this all together. And then I'm going to build some, you know, some wall sets and stuff from the backside to hide it away nicely. I think this will be kind of cool. I wanted to give this away because that will be just a rather small change. The bigger topic for next episode is going to happen in this area, and now we are coming back to your suggestions. So first of all, this area over here is going to become the chimpanzee and my tendency is paired with the bonobos together area. It's gonna be very exciting because I've got a very special idea how to do it. I'm really not sure how this is going to look at the end, but I'm really having a good idea to do that. And because so many people requested that, and I'm giving into that because I'm a big fan of this idea, we are going to have the white rhino in this area here. And that, my friends, is actually all about it for, and there's an escape happening for whatever reason, I don't care at this point. And this is everything we do for the African area. The entire corner over here is going to receive a major overhaul as well, and I'm again trying to follow up with your insanely good comments. You guys commented how cool that would be to have like a floating restaurant here on the river, or on the it is a river, but this is like kind of the lake area. I think this is a absolutely fantastic idea. We don't have a restaurant in here yet, so this makes a lot of sense, and the rest is going to be renaturalized and is going to become forest. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, and I'm also giving me a tiny bit of space left for eventual DLCs that could fit this park, and if not, we have to, well, basically get rid of something else. Anyhow, guys, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. It's gotten a little bit long, but I wanted to give you the full insight. Please, because I'm really trying to improve my channel a lot again at this point in time. You've seen potentially all the changes with the videos, a bit of a title change, bit of a overall overlay change, bit of a design change, and everything upon your feedback. But one thing that is really important to me is, you know that all these videos, the speed builds and stuff, are completely against modern day trend. They are long, they are detailed, they are not that fast paced, and they are basically completely the one thing of content that YouTube at the moment dislikes. However, I still want to do that, and I wanted to know from you guys, what is the optimum video length in terms of Planet Zoo content or speed build content that you like to watch? Like, don't get me wrong, I know that people that click on my videos and want to watch them expect these videos to be longer than 5 minutes, so I'm fine with that. But I just want to find out, what is your kind of sweet spot in terms of length for the videos, because obviously I can do certain things to hit that a bit better, and I would love to do this to really please all of you. So please let me know in the comments down below. That would be amazing. And also, as always, if you like the content, want to support me, and want to give YouTube a little nod that you do actually like the video despite the fact I'm not pleasing the algorithm, that would be amazing if you could subscribe to the channel. Other than that, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe, and I talk to you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.